Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. I just finished watching Hell's Kitchen Season 23 Episode 8, and if I had to give the episode a rating, it would be a solid 7.5. As we finally get to see which chefs make it to the final 10, and tonight's elimination was completely unexpected, and it made me have to go back to the drawing board with my predictions. But over the course of the review, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the 3 highlights for the episode. I'll also share my updated list for which chefs have the best chance of making it to the black jacket round. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. The first highlight that I want to talk about is Anthony's disclosure. In this episode, Anthony reveals that he is an oral cancer survivor, and he shares his story. Anthony's story is very emotional as well as inspirational, and it causes his team to rally behind him. Now, I consider this scene to be a highlight because I had already put Anthony as a lock to make it to the black jacket round, but after sharing this story, as well as the passing of his grandmother earlier in the season, I initially thought that this scene would have foreshadowed Anthony either making it to the final 3 or the final 2. The clues were there, but sadly, this scene foreshadowed something completely different. The second highlight for tonight's episode would have to be the episode challenge. For this challenge, the chefs battle to guess a number of secret ingredients and either assign the ingredients to their own dishes or the other team's dishes. The teams then have a cook-off to see which team gets the most points. And because the blue team has more members, they have to agree on which dish they have to drop from the challenge. In my opinion, Hannah, Brandon, and Joe had the hardest dishes to cook for this challenge, but scoring points was definitely not impossible. Hannah and Joe scored points for their respective teams, but when it was all said and done, the red team wins the challenge by 1 point. The most interesting part about the challenge was that the blue team decided to drop Egypt's dish all because Lulu fought to keep hers. And let's keep it real for a second. Egypt has been very solid for most of his challenges and the last few dinner services, while Lulu has fallen apart. The blue team shouldn't have put all their faith in Lulu because she has been making several mistakes over the past few episodes. But Gordon asked to taste Egypt's dish, and Gordon agreed that Egypt had cooked the best dish of the challenge, and it might have won the challenge for the blue team. But this goes to show that the blue team still considers Egypt a threat, and they'll rather lose without him than win with him. The third highlight for the episode was the Cook for Your Life challenge, which features lobster as the main protein. There was no dinner service for this episode. Instead, in order for Gordon to determine which chefs make it to the top 10, he makes the 5 chefs who didn't score a single point in the secret ingredient challenge participate in the Cook for Your Life challenge, with the loser getting eliminated. The 5 chefs include Lulu, Anthony, Anne-Marie, Brandon, and Amanda. As luck would have it, Gordon gave Egypt a pass because his dish would have gotten a point if Lulu didn't veto his dish for her own. In this Cook for Your Life challenge, there were some great dishes and some not so great dishes. The best dish for the challenge would have to go to Brandon. He cooked a chowder and Gordon didn't have any complaints about it. Lulu made the decision to cook another pasta dish for this episode, and Lulu escaped elimination yet again because everybody else cooked a far worse dish. We're then down to Amanda, Anne-Marie, and Anthony, and Gordon ultimately decides to eliminate Anthony from the competition because his dish wasn't his best work. Now, I was on board with Megan's elimination last week because she contributed to her team losing a few dinner challenges, and her leadership skills were a little shaky. However, Anthony has been pretty solid in his dinner services as well as the episode challenges, while Anne-Marie has been a liability to her team for nearly half the season. I thought that between these two, Anthony has shown better leadership skills as well as cooking skills, while Anne-Marie has been coasting for most of the competition, and Anthony's entire journey should have been taken into consideration when deciding who should go home. But I can respect Gordon's decision because he ultimately has the final say on which chef he wants to hire as his head chef. The chefs that are my favorite for the black jacket round are now Whit, Egypt, Brandon, Kyle, Joe, and Hannah, while the chefs that I don't feel have the best chances of making it to the black jacket round are Lulu, Amanda, Brittany, and Anne-Marie. I feel that as the competition goes on, these chefs will need to start showing that their leadership skills are just as good as their cooking skills, and that will truly expose which of these chefs are real contenders and pretenders. But this marks the end of my review. Feel free to leave all comments below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.